What's up, everybody? It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show, your 24-hour-day, back from our break. Remember, you guys can always follow, subscribe to KBR Sports on Rabble TV, YouTube, iTunes, Spreaker, and SoundCloud. Also, don't forget, you guys can follow KBR Sports on Twitter at KBR_sports, where we tweet the live links prior to every show, and as well as our topics beforehand. And don't forget, you guys can always call in and join our discussion at 571-991-0566. Once again, the number is 571-991-0566. All right, so guys, for the comic book trivia that we have before we went to the break, the question was, the statement was, and remember, you guys have to vote whether it's true or false. Killer Croc worked at the Gotham Circus where he was paid to wrestle alligators, but his boss kept most of the money he promised to give to Croc. So he was so furious at his boss's constant mockery of him that Killer Croc bit his boss's head off and escaped. True or false? Now I'm going to introduce our special guest, Nick Exposito, former college athlete, coming to bust our show for his present. Give it up for Nick. Give it up for Nick. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. All right, Nick. So,
it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem, bro.
We'll be a regular here soon.
Bruh. So, give me your thought. What about the statement? Do you think it's true or false?
Sounds pretty true.
You think it's true?
Pretty true.
Nigel.
You know what? Nick said true. I'm going to go ahead and say false.
Nigel's correct.
Of course I am.
Yep. He actually bit the boss's arm off.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So
yeah,
everything
everything else is true.
Common knowledge.
It's just common knowledge. Okay. I'm so weak. All right, y'all. We're going to transition to our next topic. But also, don't forget, y'all, if you guys ever want to catch our comic book segment, and whenever we introduce our comic book facts and little innuendos, remember, you guys can go to the beginning of the last segment. We start every show off with a little comic book fact or interesting
tidbit.
Thing. Yeah, interesting tidbit. Thank you, Nigel.
Wow.
And we give the answer in the second segment. So you guys can always go on there on all the mediums I just listed. So, guys, man, we didn't really just give our opinions on the Super Bowl last topic. So, guys, just give me your thoughts on the Super Bowl, starting with Nick. Nick, what did you think of the Super Bowl, bro? The Patriots were down essentially 28-3 at one point. So, that's a 25-point game at that point. And then they came all the way back to obviously win 34-28. So, Nick, give me your thoughts on it. What did you think?
Here's the problem. Defense was on the field too long for the Atlanta Falcons in the second half. That's just how it is straight up. The offense, Matt Ryan didn't do a good job. The offensive play calling was just awful. Especially you got a receiver like Julio Jones on the edge, you know what I'm saying? But then you're running the ball outside all game. Yeah. All game. 6 yards, 8 yards a carry. You're just running the ball down their throat the whole game, running outside. And then after the tiptoe catch in the fourth quarter, that was very clutch by Julio Jones. It was extremely clutch. It was probably one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life, besides the Edelman catch that was in the fourth quarter.
Not wrong.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So my opinion is that they get down there. They get to the 25, right? 25, 28-yard line, field goal range, 28-20. You do not give Tom Brady the ball back with this amount of time. He's a GOAT. This is straight up. This is what it is.
He's the GOAT.
That's what it is. So you do not throw the ball. You get down to the 28-yard line. You've been running the ball outside all game.
I missed that last part. Could you repeat that?
You do not throw the ball.
Okay.
You don't. You're inside of 28. You're trying to run the clock down. They have 2 timeouts left. Yes, make them use those timeouts. Right? If you run the clock down, usually 1 yard, 2 yards. You're still in field goal range. Now, either way, it comes down to a field goal, but it's a chipper. It's a chipper. 40 yards at best. NFL.
Yeah.
Right? The only person who missed beyond that day was the PAT, was New England Patriots kicker.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, basic. You run the ball outside. Run 2 yards. Just don't fumble the ball. Right. It's easy. You do not drop back and pass. It's 2nd and 8. You drop back and pass. That's offensive coordinator's fault. And then Matt Ryan taking a sack. You throw that ball out of bounds. No matter what. You feel that pressure, you throw that ball in the receiver's area out of bounds over into the 3rd row stands. Easily. Not take a sack. And then you're going to try and throw the ball again. You're at the 35. Minimal range. The dude's long was, 56 on the season? It's a 52-yard field goal.
Yeah, Matt Bryant's automatic. He's automatic dude.
He's a great field goal kicker. It's a 52-yard field goal. If anything, you bank on a run. 1 yard, easy. Just bang it up the middle. You go 21 personnel. You get 2 full. You get a fullback and a running back in there. You get 2 tights or 1 wide receiver and 1 tight. Just bang it. They were running. They had the wide receiver crashing and cracking all day. They had pulling.
Yeah.
The tackle kept pulling all game. It was working the whole game. You don't know why they went away from it. Now the fact that they only had 31 plays up to the 3rd quarter was unbelievable. They were up 21-3 or 28-3.
Real quick. All right, Nigel. Give me your thoughts on it. Give me your thoughts real quick on it.
Let me add on this real quick. He says they run the ball. You want to guess how many times they ran the ball in the second half?
How many?
5 times. They ran the ball 5 times in the second half. That's not. You're up how many points again? Somebody tell me.
25.
Up 25 points. What's the one thing you do when you're up?
You run the ball.
Why you run the ball 5 times? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So first of all that, and then like you said, when they got down there after Julio's catch, You run the ball 3 times. If they burn all the timeouts, they don't get a first down. That's fine. They have a 20. How many points were they at that point?
Yeah, 20. They're up. You talking about the second one?
8. You kick a field goal, you're up 11 with less than 3 minutes to go. This game. There's no coming back from that. They're done. Or worst comes to worst, you have to force them to kick an onside kick. Absolutely. Yeah. So even before you get to the sack and the holding and all that, I mean, you already messed up right before that. You already messed up by throwing the ball one time. Mm-hmm. So it was terrible play calling, like all around. I'm surprised, honestly, that nobody stepped out and said, I don't understand why. The thing is, he was a part of the Seahawks. I'm about to finish. The Seahawks, the crew. So it's like he knew what happened when they decided to throw the ball when they didn't need to at the end of a game. Like it's fresh on his memory, probably.
Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It made no sense to me.
He was also part of the staff when the Pittsburgh Steelers beat him in the Super Bowl. So also, here's another thing.
Had to get that in there.
So here's the thing, though. The second half, guess how many times they blitzed?
Who, the Falcons?
Yeah, the Falcons blitzed 5 times second half. You get pressure on Tom Brady, even though the wide receivers were cooking the whole game. The whole game. No, and then Mitchell on the edge was had a great game. And then White, the running back. Either way.
Great
so
game.
Here's the thing, though.
He's killing.
Here's the thing. You only blitz 5 times. You're not putting any pressure on the quarterback. He was sacked 4 times in the first half. Yeah. They were bringing pressure. 97, kid from Clemson, came off the edge, kicking the right guard's butt the entire game.
All game.
The entire game. And you just stopped. You made them do twists and edges, and they're exhausted off a twist and edge. You just make them bull rush. So if you bring them full on blitz, it's only you can blitz 5 times all game.
Hold on, quick. I can tell you're Nick is so upset right now.
It's unbelievable.
let me let you get your breath back, bro.
No, and then this is what some college teams have. They have this problem as well. They get up, right? And then they take their foot off the gas pedal in our offense. They take their foot off the gas pedal. The fumble was huge, but then they come back on the field after they just got the ball back from the Patriots 3 and out, 5 and out. They had 5 and out. Something happened. Holding, yeah. So then they get the ball back, right? 3 and out. What they do? They ran.
He's so upset.
They threw a stupid pass, and they try to hit the slant. You do not hit a slant on 3rd and 8.
Oh my God!
You hit an outside receiver on an out route that was wide open. Matt Ryan, I don't understand.
Let me tell you something, Nick.
I don't understand.
Would you be mad at me if I told you I'm not upset with them on their play calling?
I'd be upset.
I'd be pissed. Are you serious?
I'm not upset.
How?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Ran the ball 5 times in the second half.
Well, here's the thing.
They had over
3 times.
They had over. They had the most rushing yards in the Patriots defense the entire postseason in the first half.
Let me tell you guys something.
You're insane.
Let me tell you guys something.
Go ahead.
Well, how many times? How many opportunities they have in the second half on offense?
They turned
not that many. I'll admit not that many. I mean,
not that many, right?
Yeah.
Will they turn the ball over on 2nd and 6 when you try to drop back and pass?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Why don't you just run the ball? And then you also had the running back over.
But here's the thing. What has the Falcons been known for all season?
Pissing down their leg.
They've been known for
bad defense.
Bad defense. So if the Patriots are going to dominate the clock, the whole half. The whole half. Oh, let me. Okay. And then you got guys pretty much getting gassed on defense. So the Patriots know this. We were watching the game. I even said this. I said, why does it seem like the Patriots aren't going any faster than because they started realizing the Atlanta Falcons pass rush got tired. So they started taking their time, just gassing the Falcons defense. And then on offense, the Patriots are starting to stuff the Falcons runs. Devontae Freeman only broke for 1 big run in the second half. And then after that, but here's one thing: the Falcons' identity though has been on throwing the football.
Right,
has been with Taylor Gabriel. And then the fact that they have running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield. What was the biggest play Devontae Freeman had in the second half? Was that 37-yard reception he had? So if that's one of the things that you've been known for, they've been getting comparisons to the greatest show on turf. So. And it's not like Tevin Coleman's injury wasn't a big deal because Tevin Coleman's their power back. He's the guy that normally gets the bulk of the carries and gets the power carries. So once he goes out, then your offense changes a little bit. The identity of your offense changes, and obviously Matt Ryan is the MVP. If it's the flip side, the Patriots have thrown the ball in the same situations beforehand. They trust the ball in Tom Brady's hands. What are we going to do? We're going to question the Patriots when they trust the ball in Tom Brady's hands? No. It's only because it's the Falcons and it's Matt Ryan. That's the reason why we're doubting what they did. If they get that completion, they could milk the clock for you more. They could go for a touchdown, put it out of reach. Even if they got if they force the field goal and get an onside kick, you still giving the Patriots a window to get back in the game. Whereas they just wanted to put it away entirely, especially because of the fact their defense was so gassed.
Here's the thing, though. I don't understand why the first half they got down. They got what they get. There was 2 possessions where they went no huddle. Guess what? Patriots are gassed. Had to waste timeout. They scored down. They scored 2 touchdowns on a no-huddle offense after they got past the first marker.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Nick. So, when is the last time the Falcons scored?
They scored third quarter.
In the beginning of third quarter.
So, Brent, they go a whole quarter and a third of another quarter without scoring, and you're saying, I have no problem with their play calling.
No, because they were aggressive. And here's the thing. They were in positions to score. If Matt Ryan doesn't fumble that football, they're in a position to score. If he doesn't get sacked back there, they're in a position to score. The play calling wasn't wrong. The execution was wrong. That's because the play call didn't go as planned doesn't mean that it was the wrong call. It's the execution went wrong. When Russell Wilson threw that ball on the goal line against the Patriots 2 years ago, the play call wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong.
What are you talking about?
I support giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch, but the play call wasn't wrong. That actually was that play call. There was nothing wrong with that play call. The only reason that play call was bad is because that if you didn't complete the pass, it was supposed to be incompletion. You still save time on the clock. But prior to that, even though Marshawn Lynch had gained 3 yards on that run, how many yards did Marshawn Lynch have throughout the whole game? Marshawn Lynch was not effective throughout that whole game. He had gotten 3 yards prior to that. That's it.
Here's the thing, though. In that drive, you don't throw a slant inside the goal line. You attack the outside. How many people throw a slant?
But
you're at the 2-yard line. You don't throw a slant. There's a linebacker and a safety that's coming over top. You never throw the ball. You never throw the slant.
But in that situation, it was supposed to be a pick play. The same play Clemson ran against Alabama, which is what got that receiver so open.
Exactly.
Mike Williams, that got him so open.
In college.
And the Patriots did the same thing. Yeah, don't say it in college because the Patriots did the same thing yesterday. They did the same exact thing yesterday. They got Damian Amendola open. The Seahawks just didn't run it right. So technically, the play call was right. The execution wasn't executed right. So there's nothing wrong with the play call. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with it at all, guys.
There's something wrong with the play calling in the rest of the second half. When they had the ball, they didn't take opportunity.
You run the ball 5 times in the second half. I'm sorry. You have a 25-point lead. No,
you have 25 points.
If that's how you won all season, I mean, if it's inverse, we're gonna have a problem with it. If it's the Patriots, we don't have a problem with it.
Are Patriots top 10 in rushing?
Were the Patriots top 10 in rushing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, right, no problem. You're absolutely right.
I knew it.
You're absolutely right.
All right, y'all. We're gonna transition to our next topic, guys. We're gonna talk about. We gotta go to the next topic, Nick. I know you feeling this topic.
Just about the Super Bowl. I feel like in overtime, they need to change the rule.
Oh, we'll touch on it. See, you can't go into a whole different topic.
No, we're talking about Super Bowl. We're in the Super Bowl topic.
No, that's an overtime rules topic.
I mean, that's a Super Bowl topic. I mean, it's part of the Super Bowl.
But what we talk about, that's a separate whole thing.
Okay,
y'all. Okay, Vaughn, we'll talk about that next. All right, y'all. Should we talk about? Should they change the overtime rules after the Patriots scored 1 touchdown in overtime and the Falcons never got a chance to get the possession back? Stay tuned to find out the answer. And KBR Sports, the best sports talk show, your 24-hour day.